Hey Amina, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how to cut lenses, transition gray with anti-glare for your RayBan 2132, size 55, color 901L, which is the large. So the first thing I'm going to do, open up the casing that it comes in, the RayBan box, your RayBan leather case, the RayBan frame with RayBan cleaning cloth. Comes with a protective sleeve with one over the left temple. I'm going to include a second one. So in order to trace your lenses, I have to pop out the original sunglass lenses. Still recognize the frame, the shiny black. I'm going to put it into the tracing element of my Santinelli edger, and it is going to trace the left lens first and then come and trace the right lens. This is a Santinelli LE1000 patternless edger, runs about $30,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one. Put it on your kitchen counter. Now you can cut glasses at home. You don't have to come into this lab and use all this equipment. So that is, let me pull up the shape of your lens. That is now the shape. I'm going to type in, if these were prescription, these would be your pupillary distance, but because this is non-prescription lenses, I'm just going to have it match the actual frame. This is a polycarbonate lens. Unbreakable and bulletproof up to 22 caliber. It's being cut for a plastic frame, and I know from experience to take this one down just a little bit. I may have to take it down a little bit more, and now your lens. These are the photochromic polycarbonate gray with an anti-reflective coating on there. So I'll pull out your lens, pull out your other lens, and I actually have to put a little block on there. This is what's going to hold it in place while it's cutting. This is a double-sided adhesive sticker. Pull off one side, stick that on your lens, grab another block, put this one on your lens, and then start cutting. I'm going to put it in the chuck, and the first thing that's going to happen, this is essentially like a lathe, but this LMU is going to come down and trace the shape of your frame onto the lens to make sure that the lens is large enough. It is tracing the shape of your lens on the concave side of it, which is the side closest to your eyelashes, and then it's going to trace the front of the lens, the convex lens side of the lens, convex side, excuse me. The cutting wheel is actually at the very bottom, and this is the heavy grit sandpaper. The wheel on the center with the channel is what's going to cut the groove or the bevel onto the frame. So, I mean the bevel on the lens, so it'll stay in the frame. It is going to get loud. I will close the door when the lens strikes the cutting wheel. It is now 5:43 on February 1st, 59 degrees here in my city, and this whole process should take about 15 minutes. I hope you have fun with it and see what's involved and how your glasses are made. So your lenses are the unbreakable polycarbonate, and the polycarbonate is thinner, 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. But regular plastic falls short. This is actually not only thinner and lighter, as I said, but it also is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. If you notice, it is flat along the edges like a nickel. There's no way it would stay in the frame, so it's actually putting the bevel on there so that it will stay inside the shape of the frame. This is at your nose. This is your right lens. That's at the corner. Now, due to the $30,000 worth of electronics in my Italian machine, I'm going to close the door so it stays dry, but hopefully you can look through the door. Being polycarbonate, unlike plastic or high-index plastic, the water runs while it's cutting the entire time. Polycarbonate cuts dry, and it's only the water to use off any optical sawdust that might be there. So it's just now stopping. I'm going to take the lens out of the chuck. I'm actually going to dry it off so it's not slippery. And one more thing I'm going to do, this is a hand stone. It's completely flat. It just works by friction. There's a little bit of rough edges on your lens now, so I'm going to go all the way around one time. Take off any rough edges. This white substance that is there is called Schwarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape that off of your lens. Drop it in the trash. Because I've done that so much, I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. Alright, where'd your frame go? Where'd it go? Here it is. So to tuck the lens in, I hold the frame upright. I start at the outside corner, and then I push down at the nose. And this one's still a little bit snug, so I'm going to take a little bit more off. I'm going to take about 1/10 of a millimeter off your lens, so I don't have to jam it in there. I want the lens to stay in there but not be crammed in there. Eventually, over time, if the lens were put in, it was too large. This bevel, think of it like a gutter. If the lens is too large, the force is going to turn this way and then your frame is going to roll. And you'd have to use a lot of heat to try and correct that. It may be lumpy. I'm just going to cut perfect. I aim for the center of the bullseye with every lens. If you notice, I do my own lab work. So I control the quality and the cost that way. That's how I can give you free prescription lenses anytime you buy a frame from me. Most optical shops are just order takers. You go in, you place your order, they tell you to come back in 10 to 14 days to pick up your glasses. Essentially, they're nothing but hiring someone else to do it, add on their middleman fee, and then you pay them twice the amount. I keep the cost low, the speed up. You ordered these from me late last night. I saw on the web. Came in today to cut these, and now I'm going to put them in the mail and overnight them back to you. That's how I can do things so much faster. It's just about to finish up now. I'll take it out of the chuck. Same as before. I'm going to dry this off a little bit so it's not slippery. Do you know how embarrassing it is to drop a lens on live TV? The safety bevel one more time. Go around. Scrape that off, any residue. Clean it up, dry it off a little bit more. Wipe away any of that dust. Now again, I'm going to try. I start at the outside corner and then push down at the nose. In it snaps perfectly, so I'm going to do the left lens. Let me set your frame down up here. Actually, I'm going to work on that some more. I'm going to flip it over to the left. And now hit the start button. And it's going to repeat the same steps as before. But in the short term, I'm going to go ahead and get your frame ready for shipping. I'm going to take this block off, which held it in place while it was cutting. Peel that sticker, drop it back in the bin, have it ready to go. Dry this off. I'm actually going to use, by the way, everyone gets a cleaning cloth when they buy from me. I even give you instructions on how to care for the case and the cleaning cloth. Hey, there's only one lens. Now I'm going to hold it up to the light to inspect to make sure there's no blemishes, no scratches, no waves, no any imperfection in the anti-glare coating that you ordered. It is perfect. I'm going to set it back down there and wait for the left lens to cut. So it did the little step where it was tracing everything. Now it's going to go back down onto the cutting wheel. Close the door to make this a little quieter so I can talk. And one thing I'm going to do at the very end, I set the frame down to make sure it's in standard alignment. I set it on the counter, push down to make sure there's no wobble. I flip it over, double check all of that. And then I'm going to get it ready for shipping to get it to you fast. It is the RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer size 55 color 901, which is the shiny black. Classic frame. This frame, actually, let's have fun with this. The frame actually comes in a black rubber, a blue rubber, a black and beige, a brown and blue, ooh, the classic tortoise, and then the blue orange, which no one stocks here in America. RayBan doesn't even stock this in the United States, but it's the color of my hometown baseball team, so I have to stock that. Of course, you've seen the foldable Wayfarers that fold down pretty cute. That's pretty nice, isn't it? These are available with any type of lens as well. Just contact me and I'll make it happen for you. So the colors of this frame, and every year RayBan adds some colors. Every year they take away some colors. But this is one color they'll never quit making. This is the original shiny black as compared to the tortoise, which I just showed you a moment ago. Those are the two most popular colors. I'm actually wearing the blue crystal, which came out this week. Has the blue front with the crystal on the inside. I wear a lot of blue. I figured it would match my blue and white pinstripe shirt. I actually pop my lenses out. I have one set of prescription lenses, and I pop them into a different color every day depending on what color shirt I'm wearing. My wife is so jealous that I get to accessorize when I get dressed. So again, here's the safety bevel. I should have dried it off first, but I was talking about my wife. She always distracts me, just like the moment she caught my eye. All right, clean all the optical sawdust off the edge of your lens. Dry that off one last time. And now I'm going to check to make sure it fits on this side. So I start at the outside corner and then push down at the nose. And in it goes perfectly. So I'm going to de-block this. Dry that off. I'm actually going to do another visual inspection to make sure everything is perfect. Then I'm going to show you what the transition lenses look like in the frame that you just bought. Hold this up to the light. I apologize if this is blinding you, but yeah, that looks perfect. Dry this side off a little bit more. And of course, with this white background, you see how clear the lenses are while I'm indoors. I'm going to fold this up. I have a little unit here which has a very strong UV light that may just glow to you, and it's actually going to turn your lenses dark. Now, all transition lenses get dark on day one. If you give them 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, they can continue to darken every day for the first few weeks until they get to their final setting. They do not get as dark on a mild day. They do not get as dark when it's in the upper 90s. They're temperature sensitive. The cooler it is, the darker they will get. This time of year in Nashville, Tennessee, Amina, these are going to get very, very dark. Just give them a couple weeks to them to reach their full potential, and then after that, they will provide you years of service. They will stay that way forever. Now again, they will only turn dark exposed to direct sun. They will not work behind the windshield of a car. Unless you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will not darken. All cars starting in the 90s started putting UV protection in the windshields to protect the upholstery so it doesn't rot. Your dashboard doesn't crack from being in the sun. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. I hold this up, and now you can see the dark lenses. It takes about 30 to 45 seconds to darken when you go outside, a little bit slower when you come back inside. 45 seconds to a minute, but you will see that. Now you have the best of both worlds. You have the geek chic glasses when they're clear, and then when you go outside, you have the classic styling of the RayBan sunglasses, just like the lenses I took out. So you have the best of both worlds. Thank you for purchasing these from me. Hope it's been fun watching all this, and this is one of the many, many ways I bring that loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you, Amina.